edition. Gonna give y'all some time to get in here real quick. See what we got going on. What the fuck? What is going on? There we go. Boom. And we're alive. And we got sound too.
That's good.
Let's do it. All right. Here we go. Boom. Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bros Talk MMA. I'm your host, UTICA, undeniably the illest cat around, a.k.a. Mr. Make This Pick Real Quick. I'm here with my bro host extraordinaire.
You know what it is. It's RayBuck. It's Chuckle Jordan. It is. Let's get on with the day, bro, because it's a little rough.
It's a rough one, huh?
It's a rough one.
All right. Well, I won't hold you. We're here to cover this weekend's Fight Night card taking place in Baku, Azerbaijan. It's going to be a 12-fight card headlined by a light heavyweight bout between Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Rountree Jr. We're going to start things off in the heavyweight division.
Let me also just interject for a second. Sorry to interrupt. It's going to be an early card, bros. It's going to be at 10 in the morning, start time, just so everybody's aware.
Early morning fights, y'all. So, yeah, good thing you got the rough start out today, so that way you ain't sleeping through fights tomorrow. Yeah. Or, I guess the night's still young.
The night's still young, bro.
All right, folks. Well, like I said, starting things off in the heavyweight division, we have Muhammad Usman going up against Abdel Wahab. We got Usman coming in. They're 3-2 in the UFC, 10-4 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Abdel Wahab coming in 1-0 with 1 no contest in the UFC, 4-0 with 1 no contest between their amateur and pro career overall, and they're currently riding a 6-fight win streak. My pick's going to be with Abdel Wahab by either decision or KO. Usman's going to be the older fighter with the longer reach. He's going to be older by 4 years. A striker primarily, definitely has KO power, but just not enough volume. Seems like he's always like trying to find the perfect shot, or he really just doesn't throw enough, in my opinion. Has somewhat poor defense. Seems like he's not able to get out of the way of shots all that well. And his cardio, he definitely starts to fade, as the fight goes on. So, unless he's able to get Abdel Wahab out of here early, I just see Abdel Wahab running away with this one. He's going to be the younger and less rangy of the two. Definitely a striker primarily in his own right with KO power. But I think the difference in this one is that he is going to be the one that's pressing forward. He's going to be the more aggressive of the two. He's fought more recently of the two. And, although he might be less technical, and he tends to fade a little bit as the fight goes on too, I just feel like that aggressiveness and that volume he's going to put on Usman is really what's going to take him over the top. So I'm going to go with Abdel Wahab.
I'm going with Abdel Hamdi. I'm going with Hamdi. Abdel Wahab. Over Muhammad Usman. Muhammad Usman is just, I don't know. He's never really done very well for me. I agree with you. He definitely does have cardio issues. And I think he just carries around too much muscle. I think he's really just got to get on his bike in training from now on. Because, bro, those muscles are just, you know what I mean? Once he gets past the middle of the second round, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
So if he's not going to win, like you said, in that first round or early in the second, it's pretty much a game over.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully he ain't gassed up off of his brother winning the past weekend, and comes in with like this newfound energy. But if it's the Muhammad Usman I know, then yeah, he's gonna look good, freaking in terms of like just looking like he's supposed to go in there and fuck shit up, and then he gets in there And it looks like the last thing he wants to do is fuck shit up.
Exactly. And I think that's a good point that you just brought up that his brother just fought. Um, his training camp hasn't been all about him. His training camp has probably been a big part about his brother. And now he's getting a week of, now it's strictly about you, which I don't believe a week is enough. So that being said, I've got to go with Hamdi in this particular bout.
Yo, welcome to the chat. I'm not familiar with this profile, but much love to Cash Cole. His comment says he's got better knees than his brother. I mean,
That's for sure.
yeah, that's for sure. But hey,
I've got better knees than his brother.
Kamaru, man, he had a hell of a performance last week, but yeah, you know, I would say just by default, yeah, definitely Muhammad got the better knees.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's a wild statement. All right, anyway, moving on to the flyweight division, we got Tagir Ulanbekov going up against Azat Maxim. We got Ulanbekov coming in. They are 5-1 in the UFC, 16-2 overall, and 4-1 in his last 5 fights. We got Maxim coming in. They're 1-1 in the UFC, 15-1 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. My pick's gonna be with. I did not pick Maxim. I don't know. That's wild. I'm going with Ulanbekov. I don't know what the fuck my notes are talking about, but I'm going with Ulanbekov by either decision or submission. He's going to be older by 3 years. These guys are basically the same size, both reach and height. He should have the edge in the grappling, though, Ulanbekov. He can strike, but really his bread and butter is with the grappling. He's the more active of the two at this point and definitely more experienced at the UFC level. His cardio is just somewhat in question. It seems like he tends to fade if he's not able to get you out of there within like those first couple of rounds. Maxim, he's younger. Like I said, you know, basically the same size as Ulanbekov. He should have the edge in the striking, just because that's more so his prowess. He can grapple, but not like it's not like, you know, elite grappling, and definitely probably not on the same level as Ulanbekov. Problem with him is he's coming off like a year-plus layoff. I believe his last fight was against Charles Johnson, and he ended up losing that fight. And, you know, for me, at this point, I just feel like he needs more cage time and experience, you know, to be able to, you know, hang with a guy like Ulanbekov, let alone, you know, start climbing the ranks. So for that alone, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Ulanbekov, mostly because of Maxim's lack of cage time.
Yeah, the ring rust is definitely real in this one. So I got to go with Ulanbekov as well. I think you hit all the points. I mean, he's just the better all-around grappler. I don't really think his cardio is in too much question here, because since he is the higher level grappler, he's just gonna, you know what I mean, wear him down, wear Maxim down. He's not really gonna have to be going too hard, I guess, so to speak, to get the takedowns and to maintain control. So for that reason, I got to go with Ulanbekov
For sure.
for the win.
For sure, for sure. All right, moving on to the women's bantamweight division. We have Irina Alexieva going up against Claudia Segula. We got Alexieva coming in. They're 1-1 in the UFC, 5-2 overall, and 4-1 in. 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Segula coming in. They are 0-1 in the UFC, 6-2 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. I'm going to be going with Alexieva in this one by either decision or sub. She's going to be the older of the two by 8 years with the reach advantage. She's definitely going to have the edge in the grappling with some decent striking, mostly just to find entry for takedowns and stuff like that. Definitely going to be the more aggressive of the two, and should just try to look to get this fight to the ground, and that should be the path of least resistance for them. We got Segula coming in. They're younger and less rangy of the two, but possibly has the edge in the striking since that's more so their skill set. But at the same time, like, I don't necessarily think that they're super powerful. They're just more of just like a technical, striker or whatever. Yeah, they're just gonna need to come out fast. Hopefully, land something flash that either, rocks Alexieva or actually puts him down, and then finish him off from there. Otherwise, I just see this fight, either being just like 3 rounds of Alexieva just kind of like edging out, each round, or like she could potentially, get Segula to the ground and then end this via submission. She's the Russian Ronda, so we'll see what she's got on Saturday.
I mean, we're talking about a one of those trash can sets of fights right here. That being said, better trash can is Alexieva. Alexieva will beat Claudia Segula.
What makes a better trash can? Is it durability? Is it room for trash to actually throw trash in, or is it like like I guess like the structure of the trash can?
I don't know, bro. That's a pretty crazy question. Alexieva. I wanted to keep calling her Alex Garoff. Alexieva, just what I mean, is gonna have more volume. Oh shit, that wasn't good. More volume. I think she's far more durable. A few more routes to victory. Claudia Segula just looks like somebody's fucking kid sister who likes to fight. You know what I mean? She's gotten into a couple scraps on the playground and, decided, well, hey, maybe I should do this in the UFC. Whereas Alexieva is just a better fighter. I mean, she's low level, but I think she is the better of the two.
Right, all right. For sure. Staying in the women's bantamweight division, we have Daria Zelenza-Nikova going up against Melissa Mullins. We got Zelena-Nikova coming in. They are 1-1 in the UFC, 9-2 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Mullins coming in. They are 2-1 in the UFC, 7-1 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. I'm going to be going with Mullins in this one by either decision or KO. Zelena-Nikova is going to be younger and taller of the two, a striker primarily. They need to keep this on the feet and just be aggressive. That's basically really all I have to say about them. Melissa Mullins is going to be older by 4 years, shorter of the two, but definitely is going to have the edge in the grappling and can strike. Usually is willing to, basically likes to brawl her way in to takedowns, get you down to the ground, and then ground and pound from there. So she's going to be pressing forward. She's definitely going to be the more aggressive of the two. And like I said, she's willing to take one to give one, get you to the ground, and beat you with some nasty ground and pound. Also, she already has a win against Zelena-Nikova in a different fighting organization earlier in their careers. So I'm going to go with Mullins in this one.
Mullins got the blueprint to beat Zelena-Nikova. Zelena-Nikova, again, another good-looking woman who probably beats up other good-looking women, but does not belong in the UFC. Just is what it is. Melissa Mullins is going to have more volume, more routes to victory, just is going to want it and going to dog her out. Whereas Zelena-Nikova is going to take it out, basically, is what that comes down to. Melissa Mullins for the win.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Moving on to the middleweight division, we have Ishmael Nordiev going up against Jung Young Park. We got Nordiev coming in 3-2 in the UFC, 24-7 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Park coming in. They are 8-3 in the UFC, 18-6 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. I'm going to be going with Nordiev in this one by either decision or submission. He's going to be the younger and the bigger of the two fighters. Well-rounded, and is able to really mix it up well. He seems to have like reworked his whole just everything about him, and has been able to come on here recently after having like a poor first stint in the UFC. He went on to some lower level orgs, got his name back up, went on a little streak, and then came back to the UFC. I want to say possibly on short notice. I'm not sure. But his last fight was against Bruno Silva, and he literally looked like an entirely different fighter. Um, he's gonna have a smothering attack. He's just gonna be on Park the entire time. Not gonna give him any space or anything like that. Has good cardio. Only thing is this could potentially be a fraud check. This is his second fight on his second stint. Bruno Silva is, it's obvious he's, I think he may have even retired after his last fight. So, he caught him, on the latter end. So this could be a fraud check, now that he's facing a little bit stiffer, more competition that like plans to stick around. So that could remain to be seen. Park's going to be the older of the two by 6 years. Smaller and well-rounded in their own right, but looks like he leans towards the striking. You knock a few fools out, you start to, want to chase that feeling over and over. But really, I'm not too sure what to expect for them. They're a little bit inconsistent in their last couple of appearances that I've seen. Like I watched them get pretty much freaking owned by Pedro Muniz, not Pedro, Andre Muniz, who he's really one-dimensional and just, a grappling specialist. And then he squeaked out a split decision win against Brad Tavares, which, Brad Tavares he's definitely on the latter end of his career and, not as dangerous of a striker, definitely a point striker, to the T. So with all that, I just feel like Nardiev's got more to prove and just more skills to apply to take this fight. So I'm going to be going with Nardiev.
I think you just spoke the fraud check into existence, and that's what's going to happen. Young Park is going to fraud check Ishmael Nardiev. Nardiev, you couldn't do it in the first stint in the UFC, and you're not about to do it in the second stint, buddy. You know what I mean? Maybe you'll have another fight or two after this in the UFC, but this is going to be the first of your downslope. That being said, Park for the win.
Park for the win. Alrighty. Moving down a weight class to the welterweight division, we have Seong Hong Ko going up against Oban Elliott. We got Ko coming in making their UFC debut, 11-2 overall and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. We got Elliott coming in there 3-0 in the UFC, 12-2 overall, and are currently riding an 8-fight win streak. My pick's going to be with Elliott in this one by either decision or KO. Ko is going to be older by 4 years, slightly smaller, and definitely a striker primarily, but not too much more info after that, at least for me. Elliott's going to be the younger and bigger of the two, well-rounded, and also mixes it up very well in his own right. He should take this fight to the ground and just wear on Ko for 3 rounds, and eventually either find that, entry for a finish or, like I said, just, smother him for fucking 3 rounds and, get him up out of here by decision. These two were fighting each other because of visa issues on both sides that kept them from fighting different opponents on another card. And I want to say it was the card before last card, I want to say, that they were supposed to see 2 different sets of opponents. And because of those visa issues, they had to take those opponents and put them against each other, which I believe was Billy Ray Goff and Ramiz Brahimaj.
Damn, okay.
So I think it was going to be Goff against Ko and Brahimaj against Elliott. So those would have been 2 completely different fights.
Yes.
And I mean, when you break it down, Goff, the way he looked against Brahimaj, I mean, definitely would have been, I think, like a formidable opponent for Ko, and they just would have exchanged hands for 3 rounds, and it just, who knows who would have came out the victor on that one.
Goff.
Whereas Elliott, if he faced Ramiz Brahimaj, I don't think Brahimaj would have cleared his opponent the way he did fucking Goff. I think Oban Elliott would have gave that fool a super run for his money because not only can he grapple, but he has great cardio and can strike. So I think, so when I break that down, I think fucking Elliott's gonna clear Ko. I think he's gonna fucking not only put hands on him and feet, but he's gonna fucking just smother him, probably even like mix it up and take him down, not necessarily to keep him there, but maybe just to like just wear on him. And eventually, like I say, either find the finish or just dominate for 3 rounds. But I definitely see Elliott taking this one home. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I would say that, yeah, basically all in all, this is almost like a showcase fight for Elliott at this point.
That's my opinion as well. Oban Elliott is just a better all-around fighter. Ko just seems a little one-dimensional to me. In addition to that, I can't bet on 2 South Korean fighters in a row, bro. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Only bet on one. You know what I mean? Shouts out, you know what I mean, Jung Young Park. But sorry, Ko.
For sure. Real quick before we get into this next fight, the homie 305 Chunks was good. You know, a regular viewer. We appreciate you coming through and, getting into the chat and everything. His question is, what's up, my bros? Who has more charisma, Hill or Rountree? I'm going to say, yeah, definitely agreeing with bro who answered in the chat. I'm going to say Jamahal Hill. He's definitely got the more, outgoing personality, just kind of like, seems like he'd be more fun to hang around. Definitely I feel like gets into, hood and or nigga activity outside of the cage.
Wow. I could see that too.
But with Rountree,
Rountree tucks in his polo, bro.
Yeah, he's a cat. Like so like in the face-offs, for example, Hill is telling him like, "Oh, you're gonna bleed, bro. Like I'm gonna make you, eat those words that you were saying, daughter. You got some shit right here, bro. I'm gonna make you eat those words you were saying, blah 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 blah." And Roundtree's just like this.
Yeah.
And it's like that white guy smile, like, whether they're trying to like greet you, but they don't really necessarily want to interact with you, or freaking like just that general, just like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that shit, like, that would annoy the fuck out of me. And I know Hill's story, or not Hill, but Roundtree's story. He used to be super obese and freaking, underconfident and just like didn't like anything about himself. I think he was even like drinking lean and shit like that and all kinds of stuff. He was like in a bad way. And then he went into an MMA gym and fucking, found his way, and not only, transformed himself physically, but actually took a liking to MMA, had a somewhat of an up and down start, but then just started fucking like becoming this ruthless fucking just like killer inside the cage, where literally it's like almost when he steps through there, that fucking, guy who you think wears Dockers and like boat shoes, fucking
bro,
comes in here and just starts mauling fools almost as if he has no regard for human life.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild.
I'm really excited for the breakdown on the Hill fucking Roundtree one, because I think we're both going with the same guy. But I think it's just some of my reasoning for going with him is gonna you're like, oh, okay,
all right,
yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, to answer your question, Hill for sure has the charisma. Roundtree, he has more of like the characteristic for somebody who needs inspiration. Oh, I used to be a fucking dork or a fucking, obese, or, I just a version of myself I didn't like. And, through watching Roundtree, become who he has and almost win a championship, or at least go 5 rounds with Poetan or 4 rounds with Poetan. Like, there's a lot to be inspired from there. Like I could see that, but like yeah, in terms of charisma or somebody that like I think is gonna have a personality that attracts people or someone you would want to hang out with outside the cage, I'm gonna go with Hill.
I'm having a beer with Hill as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, moving on to the featherweight division and the start of the main card. We have Muhammad Naimov going up against Bogdan Grad. We got Naimov coming in. They are 4-1 in the UFC, 12-3 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. We got Grad coming in. They are 1-0 in the UFC, 15-2 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. My pick's going to be with Naimov in this one by either decision or KO. They're going to be the slightly older of the two by a year, taller of the two fighters, somewhat well-rounded, but tends to lean into their striking for sure. They got KO power, but I feel like they're beginning to try to evolve in all facets because they know that as the competition gets stiffer, just throwing bombs isn't going to be enough. So I feel like he's trying to learn how to round out his game and also stay measured and not just go and try and swing for the fences for 3 rounds. You got Grad coming in. They're younger and shorter of the two. He's going to be well-rounded and he mixes it up well. I just don't have too much more information on him except for that, he had a tough go getting into the UFC and then was able to make good when he did get an opportunity. So I want to say that this is going to be a good fight. And, I think Grad's going to give Naimov a run for his money. But I think just overall with Naimov's experience in the UFC and just like his training camps and things like that and his training partners and just where I feel like he's trying to head with his career, I think he's a little more locked in, dialed in, and will want it more. So I'm going to have to take Naimov over Grad.
Naimov all day. I think you gave Grad some flowers there. It was undeserving. He's got 1 fight in the UFC. I mean, against a fucking nobody. And, you know what I mean? He was good, not great. I didn't see greatness in that fight.
I mean, he finished in the second round. Lucas Alexander is not that great, though. So I will give that to you.
Yeah. So that being said, he bought a trash can, won, good job. Starched him, that's always good. But do I believe he's going to do that to Naimov? No, I don't believe he's going to do that to Naimov. And it's just, you know what I mean? This is going to be his true welcome to the UFC. Yeah. This is the competition you'll be up
Also,
against.
shouts out to Naimov, who trains out here in Denver, Colorado as well.
That's right. So, shouts out Naimov.
Much love. Okay.
Naimov for the win.
Moving up to the men's lightweight division, and actually one of the fights that I'm looking forward to most, and just like one of the fighters that I've taken a liking to because like I've gotten to get, I like their persona outside of the cage and inside the cage. But we got a matchup between Nazim Sadikov going up against Nicholas Mota. We got Sadikov coming in. They are 3-0 with 1 draw in the UFC, 10-1 with that 1 draw overall, and 4-0 with that 1 draw in their last 5 fights. We got Mota coming in. They are 3-2 with 1 no contest in the UFC, 15-5 with that 1 no contest overall, and 3-1 with that 1 no contest in their last 5 fights. I'm going to be going with Sadikov in this one by either decision or KO. They're going to be slightly younger and taller of the two. They're going to have a slight reach disadvantage in this one. But they are going to be the technical striker who isn't afraid to, let it get a little bit dirty in there, but definitely is going to be the more crisper of the strikers. and just overall just a fucking dog with super durability. Like he definitely has what it takes to go all three into the dark, deep water. You know, we got Moda on the other hand. He's gonna be slightly older. Um, he's got a reach advantage and is a striker primarily. Um, his technique and durability, though, are the only things that are in question to me. I don't think that he's going to be the crisper of the two strikers. He's going to go in there looking for a finish, but I just don't think that his striking game is that great. He has, you know, knockout power and stuff like that and could definitely get a flash KO, but I mean, outside of that, I just don't think that his skill set is on the same level as Sadikov. And then yeah, like I said, just like his technique and durability, just I'm not a big fan of.
Lackluster at best.
Yeah, so really, I just I see Sadikov, you know, putting on a show for 3 rounds.
Absolutely. It's the Statikov show. He'll definitely just make Nicholas Model look bad as long as he stays out of, you know what I mean, he keeps his head, you know what I mean, off the center line, which he does do pretty well. I'm not saying that's a fault that he has, but Model's going to be, you know what I mean, winging shots at him, and just don't get caught by any of those, and this should be a pretty easy night for you, Sadikov, in my opinion.
He's fighting in front of his home country.
Fighting in front of his home country, as long as he doesn't let that the shine get to him, he'll be fine. I'll go ahead and give you a heads up. This is going to be one of my guys in my parlay
For sure.
coming up soon. But yeah, Sadikov for the win. Like, well, I don't even know what I'm talking about right now.
All right, folks. Moving up to about at 165. So I'm assuming somebody must have came in off weight.
What, he came in fat?
Yeah, something, because, yeah, it sounds like these fools fucking, one was 165, Oralby, and freaking Moseyev is 163. So I don't, not too sure what the fuck that's about. What is this? It's catch weight bout, I guess. So yeah, somebody fucked up on the scale. We got Mytek Oralby going up against Tofik Musayev. We got Oralby coming in. They are 2-1 in the UFC, 13-2 with 1 draw overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. We got Musayev coming in, making their UFC debut, 22-5 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. My pick's gonna be with Oralby in this one by either decision or KO. They're gonna be the younger of the two with a longer reach. Well-rounded in their skill set, but definitely leans towards the striking and is more so of like a very crisp technical point striker that is still dangerous though. Like he can make you run into some shit that you weren't expecting and that is gonna fuck you up. And yeah, he's durable and a dog. I mean, his last fight, his eye was fucking this big, and he just kept going. You know, and it was a split decision. He almost came back because he was getting whooped on early by fucking Rambetsky. And Rambetsky, it was just his grappling that kind of was the ultimate factor that decided that fight. But Oralby, through it all, just kept coming forward, and almost put that fool on his pockets to take that fight, but it just didn't go his way. We got Musayev. I don't got a lot of information on this dude. He's going to be older, though, by fucking 8 years.
Yeah.
So that's a concern. He's going to have the reach disadvantage. A striker from what, you know, the numbers say on paper, but outside of that, I don't have much info. And, I mean, he's a hometown guy, too. He's fighting for country. So, I mean, that's really all I can say about that dude, but even just off of Oralby's, you know, UFC experience alone, I'm gonna have to go with him over this dude, let alone the age gap.
I'm gonna go with Oralby on this one too. Mine's strictly based off the fact that this dude hasn't fought since 2023.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? This dude's got 2 years of ring rust on him.
Yep.
And we're gonna just throw him in there. We're gonna throw him in there because it's his home country, right? He's gonna put fucking asses in seats.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
great.
sure he probably runs the circuit, on that side of the pond, so it's a good name to put in there, especially in the home country.
Sure.
But yeah, I didn't realize that he hadn't fought in fucking since 2023. That's wild.
I mean, and we're looking at his fight record right now. Who the fuck on that fight record do you know? Not a one.
I know the organizations more than the people.
Sure. But we're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what are we talking about? This dude's gonna get fucking starched, you know what I mean? He's a hometown kid, great. He'll get a good pop when he walks on onto the into the octagon, but then after he'll get popped by or by. So
For sure.
that's the pick.
All right, folks. Moving on to another heavyweight bout on this card. We have Curtis Blades going up against Rizvan Kuniev. We got Blades coming in 13-5 with 1 no contest in the UFC, 18-5 with that 1 no contest overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Kuniev coming in, making their UFC debut, which has been a long time coming. He's had a fight prior. I think he's had a fight prior with Blades fall out, and then a couple of fights before that. So, like, the UFC's been trying to get this dude in here. Yeah, he had 2 fights fall out with Curtis Blades and a fight with Martin Budai fall out. So, the UFC has been pretty hard pressed to get this dude in here, which says a lot to me, first and foremost.
Okay, but who pulled out on those fights?
Blades.
Blades pulled out both times?
Yeah, Blades had an illness, and then the first fight got rescheduled. The bout just I think they pulled it to try and fill space on a different card.
Okay.
And then when they rescheduled it and tried to run it back, Blades got ill and they couldn't fight.
Who else was this dude Kuniev supposed to fight?
What do you mean?
Didn't you say there was 3 fights that he missed?
Yeah, Martin Budai, and Budai withdrew.
Okay.
Yeah, so it ain't nothing on his part.
Okay.
The only thing funky about Kuniev is before he won on the Contender Series, he had a title fight against the champion in PFL, and that fight ended up getting turned over to a no contest because he popped for something illegal.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so
Got a juicer.
but yeah, so we got Blades. They're gonna be slightly older by a couple years with a reach advantage. Well-rounded, but likes to lean into their striking from what I've seen. He's powerful, but I just feel like he's slow. Like literally just he's just how do you say what's another word for him being slow? Just like fucking.
He's a lumbering
lumbering.
dude.
Boom. You perfect word. That's exactly what I was looking for. He just lumbers around the cage.
Very similar to a Kimbo Slice, you know what I mean? R.I.P. Kimbo Slice. But he looks like that kind of guy.
Yeah, he's not very. He doesn't move with urgency in the cage. It feels like. I feel like his chin may be wearing. He definitely got put on his pockets in his last fight against Tom Aspinall, and what I've noticed in his record is strikers, like elite strikers. That's who he has trouble with. He's pretty good at, beating mid-level dudes and somewhat dudes that are trying to creep up in the rankings. But in my opinion, I just feel like because of the lack of depth in the heavyweight division, that's kind of why he's been able to keep his relevancy. To be totally honest, I feel like if this was more of a stacked division, he definitely, I'm not going to say he wouldn't be in the rankings, but he wouldn't be as highly ranked as he is.
Now, there's a quick question for you, it's a question, just a general question, but I think it's a question that you would answer better than me.
Let's see, Kuniev, does he have good takedown defense? To be totally honest, I'm not too sure about that. I know he's from Dagestan, so there has to be an element of grappling somewhat, but I feel like he's one of those hybrid Dagestanis who leans more into his striking. So I'm not going to say if I was to say yes or no, that would be me just like kind of bullshitting you, and I'm not gonna say that. I don't have all the facts on Kuniev, but what I do know, Blades has good wrestling. So yeah, it's funny because he doesn't have no submissions on his record, but he definitely is known for his wrestling. But has just been one of those guys, in my opinion, who doesn't lean into it as much because he's found out that he can knock fools out. So unless somebody engages with him in the grappling, he's not going to be like looking to take people down to the ground, in my opinion. And then also, I don't know if Kuniev has like that great of takedown defense, but I assume there has to be some type of element of grappling there for sure. But ultimately, Kuniev, he's going to be the slightly younger of the two, somewhat well-rounded, but leans into his striking, as I had said. And like I said, the UFC's been trying to book him since last year, which tells me that they're pretty high on him and want to see what he can do in this division and, possibly climb the ranks. But outside of that, I don't have too much info.
So I just pulled it up on UFC.com, and it says he has 100% takedown defense.
Jesus Christ. Was that a fucking trick question, Cash Cole? You fucking... Was that rhetorical?
God damn.
Jones got to stop ducking too. Oh man.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Hey.
He's trying to change this into a whole different conversation.
I was gonna say, man, like you definitely got to be new to the show because we don't really go for the John Jones. What do you call that? The hate, John Jones hate, or the fuck.
The ducking. We're not
slander. We're not slander. We're not gonna go for the John Jones slander. But this is what I'll say. Tom Aspinall is definitely this era's heavyweight champion, and freaking can like fight all those dudes in the heavyweight division and probably run the table and is, he's the heavyweight champ for sure. But he's not the undisputed heavyweight champ. And I know you're going to kill me for that, but he's not.
He's not.
He's fucking not. Jones is the undisputed, and he calls the shots, and I know people don't like the way he's calling the shots. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think at this point, he's just trolling everybody. I think these fools already have a fight set up.
They're scheduled, I believe.
I think they're either going to fight and they just, like Jones is just staying tight-lipped because I think he enjoys trolling people more. And I think that for him is what's drawing people more to this fight. Tom Aspinall just, defaming him and telling everybody that he's ducking. That's also adding to this fight. And Dana's like, no, these two are gonna fight,
Dana's funny because Dana's not. I almost feel like Dana doesn't understand build up. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't understand like fucking Tom or John Jones saying like fucking fight this dude when I fucking feel like it. If I feel like it, like he's just creating hype. He's selling tickets. He's putting asses in seats. Aspinall, you know what I mean, with the duck campaign. Also putting asses in seats because when it does come down, you know what I mean, it will be legendary.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Tom Aspinall could clear fucking John Jones. There's a world where it could possibly be he just comes in there and clears him. But he's not clearing John Jones. He's clearing fucking John Jones at the end of his career. But I think people are fucking not giving John Jones enough credit. That dude is a fucking cage fucking captain. He knows that shit. He grew up in that motherfucker. Like, he knows how to win, Mm-hmm. And all in all, I'm just going to end it on this. He doesn't need Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall needs him.
Boom. I mean, that's a mic drop if I ain't ever heard one.
Like, that's really what it is at the end of the day, man. So, like, I get it, but we're going to stop that there. I'm going to get into your next question. Your next comment. Curtis Blades going to be on his knees against the Sprawl champ.
Fuck me, bro. That's so disrespectful.
Well, with that being said, I think we all know who I'm going with. I'm going with Kuniev. Who you going with, Ray?
God, apparently the dude that's gonna be on his fucking knees all night, bro. That's fucking wild work right there.
Look, okay, so is Curtis Blades' knees better than fucking Kamaru Usman?
I guess we'll see you tomorrow night, huh? Fuck,
He
that is
said
disrespectful.
all night.
All night long. All night.
Oh, shit. Welcome Cash Cole to the chat, dog. Oh, I'm crying, dog.
I'm going with Curtis Blades, but I don't even fucking want him now. I mean, the bet's already in. Like, let me let you know that, but fuck, man. 100% takedown defense is crazy.
But like I said, I don't even think Blades is going to be looking to initiate grappling.
I don't think so either. So that being said, Curtis Blades is gonna outstrike Kuniev. I don't know how I missed that stat. That's crazy. Anyway, he'll outstrike Kuniev. Is he gonna put the volume on Kuniev? That's the question. And that's where this fight is won or lost.
That's what I'm saying. If he's lumbering around,
Yeah.
he's going to throw that volume.
So Curtis needs to, when he gets that one good shot on you, you know what I mean? Or he feels like he's got a decent little combination on you, he will rush. He will bull rush. And then he'll start dropping volume on you. It's one of those things where there's nights where he can't get that one good shot that initiates that bull rush of
Or
his.
he gets got before he gets.
Or he gets got before he gets. And that's always a problem as well. But Curtis Blades has a high fight IQ. Curtis Blades is, you know what I mean, a good fighter. Obviously does not have the takedown defense of fucking Kuniev, but...
Well, this is Kuniev pre-UFC. Like, he's got 100% takedown defense going into his UFC debut.
Yeah.
So.
And let's, you know what I mean, not put too much salt on Curtis Blades' name, considering he just fought the heavyweight champ. You know what I mean? Recently.
Yeah. Put on his pockets.
He got put on his pockets, but he was still fighting Aspinall. So we're talking about a guy, which is almost kind of a disrespectful fight if you really think about it. You put somebody who just fought the champ up against some fucking debuter.
Yeah,
like
wild.
that's a little disrespectful. So you know what I mean? Curtis Blades is gonna welcome Kuniev to the UFC, and hopefully not be on his knees all night. Wild work, bro. But
oh shit,
crazy.
All right, folks. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening, we have a lightweight matchup between Rafael Fiziev going up against Ignacio Bahamondes. We got Fiziev coming in 6-4 in the UFC, 12-4 overall, and 2-3 in their last 5 fights. We got Bahamondes coming in. They are 6-2 in the UFC. 17-5 overall and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. My pick's gonna. Well, I did not pick Fiziev either. I don't know what the fuck my notes are doing, bro, or what the fuck I'm thinking at the moment I'm building these shits. But my pick's gonna be with Bahamondes, by either decision or KO. We got Fiziev coming in. They're gonna be the older of the two by 5 years, smaller in stature and reach. A striker who is very explosive and is making a quick turnaround, I'm guessing to, get their legs back under them because they had a long layoff prior to their last fight, which was a short notice fill-in against Justin Gaethje, who literally beat their ass fucking the fight before the fight that blew his knee out and he had to take a break. So he fought Justin Gaethje, lost, like legitimately lost. Friggin' went up against Mateusz Gamrot and fucking blew his knee out. Mm-hmm. Had a long ass layoff, and then because he was saying that he had actually been ready for some time, but the UFC just had not been offering him fights, he made that comment. Justin Gaethje's opponent falls out of the fight, and he jumps right in, almost like UFC saying, "Oh, we don't give you fights. Well, here's a fight, which is kind of fucked up. Because it's like,
Here's a fight,
here's a guy who beat
killer.
your ass not too long ago and fucking is in title contention right now, but anyways, he came in and I knew he was going to lose that fight. It was just too long of time off.
Oh, yeah.
Not enough conditioning, in between going into the fight short notice and,
it's like
and
the
it's Justin Gaethje.
I swear, the UFC sometimes is the epitome of talk shit, get hit. Like, bro, like, oh yeah, you want to talk shit about the organization? Oh, we're not giving you fights?
Here's a fight.
Like, enjoy. Fight Justin Gaethje, the fucking BMF, you know what I mean, one-time BMF title holder. Like,
Yeah.
welcome back, bro.
Fucking, you gotta. So yeah, it's just like one of those things where like he is a dog. I just don't know where they are, and I feel like they still might need this fight to actually finally get back into the motions and then potentially start, stringing some wins together then. We got Bahamondes coming in. They're younger and bigger of the two. He's gonna be, tall, lanky, versatile striker that is evolving in their grappling. Super durable, dog fighter, likes to go in there, and he can be crispy and technical with it, but he can also just start getting messy too, and he likes to fight. Like, this dude likes to fight. He's had consistent activity though. I think he just fought like 3 months ago.
3-4 months ago.
Yeah, so he's gonna be better conditioned even in this fight going against somebody who went through a full fight camp, but I still feel like it's coming off of, still like that layoff still probably has some lingering effects, I assume. So yeah, my pick's gonna be with Bahamondes in this one. Who you got?
Bahamondes, one of my favorite fighters to name out, you know what I mean, when we're picking through fights. Bahamondes is just a dog. He's just constantly on his bike, constantly moving, constantly showing you different looks, and just a wild man in there, bro. And he can beat you so many different ways, and he just puts constant volume, constant pressure. You know what I mean? It's like never ending. You know what I mean? So I'm just not sure how anybody can keep up with that. That being said, I mean, all the points you pointed out, right? Like, he's got starched by Justin Gaethje, you know what I mean? Which is not a bad person. Like, that's not a bad one.
He didn't get starched. He lost by decision both times, getting beat the fuck up in dominant fashion.
Okay, dominated by Justin Gaethje multiple times. You know what I mean? The knee thing always worries me when people have, you know what I mean, very serious leg injuries, because I feel like you just never really trust that fucking leg again, or somebody fucking leg kicks you and you're like, oh, whoa, hey, bro. Like,
Yeah.
It reminds you of the pain that you went through and the rehab and all the things, and so you protect it a little bit more. You're not laying things all the way out there. And I think Bahamondes can exploit shit like that. And the kid's just on his way up, and he's ready to, you know what I mean, do some big shit in this division.
I think Rafael has to get inside, and I think that's going to be tough for him because fucking Bahamondes has just got so much reach and fucking length. Like, he might get fucking kicked in your face fucking before you even think you're going to try and, like, march forward and get inside.
That's right.
And then he has sneaky grappling in his last fight, I believe, against Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner, I believe, was the one who initiated the grappling, and then Bahamondes reversed that shit and fucking ended up choking him out, and retiring him. So, Bahamondes is definitely a prospect on the rise. One of Chile's only fighters. I think he might be like the only cat from Chile fighting. So, fucking, there's that. Before we get into the next fight, though, let's see. We got some comments here. Cash Cole says, Justin Gaethje has a smile like Sylvester Stallone.
That's fucking wild. And, like, is that 17 BJJ? Is that supposed to be his, like, teeth?
I don't know, bro.
That's wild if it is.
Fucking, like, so that's funny as fuck, dog. We got 305 Chunks. They are asking which fighter or commentator is the biggest UFC company man. This is fucking easy. If you're talking about a commentator, it's Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
Daniel Cormier is fucking definitely fucking biggest fucking UFC company man on the mic. If you're talking about a fighter, that's Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's the fucking company man for fucking fighters right now. Like he takes anything that they offer him and literally went on like he fought like 5 times in a single year when he first came on to the scene in UFC because fucking of the pandemic and shit like that. And he was just must see TV and he was actually fucking whooping fools and shit. But then he started, jumping divisions and stuff. And it seems like right now he's just now starting to take his fucking career somewhat serious. But that's besides the
He
point.
is Mr. Fill-In. Like, he will fill in for everybody.
But he's
anybody.
the fighter company man, and fucking DC's the commentator company man. But if you're gonna say, if I have to say who's just the biggest company man overall, it's DC.
Okay.
Sure.
I do got to answer one of these questions. Wait, Fazib is getting beat down. I absolutely agree with that. Shouts out Darren.
Yo, what's good, my man? Tell
Matua.
Gabriel I said what up.
Hell yeah. Shouts out Gabriel.
Rafael did good on short notice against Gaethje, which is what Cash Cole said, and you're right. No, he coming off of a layoff on short notice to go to decision with Justin Gaethje. Sure, yeah, nah, definitely, fucking that's super impressive. But in terms of like career management, I mean, at the end of the day, the UFC is still always about wins and losses. And, you can do them a favor, but that favor still has, like, stipulations and fucking circumstances around it. So he did good for himself. I'm sure he got paid, which was nice, even though he didn't get win money. He still got, money, which I'm sure stretches a long way for him just, in general. But, if you're trying to fucking maintain relevancy and or climb the ranks, like you still do got to be a little bit fucking conscious of the choices you're making.
Let me jump into this chat. You know what I mean? Matua asks, why didn't the Nuggets get a championship against or with Mallow and AI? Mallow is trash. Garbage. I don't give a shit like that he has great stats. Stats are for fucking stat sheets, not for fucking showing that you're great in your career. The motherfucker never played defense. The dude was out here in Denver partying his ass off with the rest of the team. So was AI, but guess what? AI would show up in the morning and put down 40, where all these other motherfuckers were hungover and looking like fucking trash. AI, bro, I really wish he could have been here or stayed with us a little bit longer. He deserved a championship. We need to send Mallow on his fucking way.
We did. I mean, basically.
But when the Thuggets, you know what I mean, at the time, they all kind of disbanded all together. It all was they kind of...
Well, okay, so this is what I'm going to say here. My belief is we didn't win a championship because of George Karl, the coach. There's a lot of underlying and like untold stories about George Karl and his handling of that Nuggets team when it was fucking Mallow, J.R. Smith, AI, Kenyon Martin. Let Kenyon Martin tell some stories about George Karl. It'll at least add a little bit more perspective of why that team underachieved the way it did, bro.
Let me just tell
George
you,
Karl was kind of a piece of shit, dog.
So was fucking Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin, I'd catch that motherfucker at the club. You gotta remember, these dudes are all the same age as me. Kenyon Martin would be at the club on IR, but I see him fucking dancing a jig on the fucking on the fucking floor, bro. Like, your knee looks fine to me right now, bro. The fuck are you doing? And I mean, these fools would just get sloppy. Like,
oh yeah, no, I've heard the stories about, fools going out and fucking turning up, like that's definitely a thing. And even fools will say like, yeah, hey, that nigga AI is something different.
Bro.
That fool go out to the club all night and then come and drop 50 the next night.
Bro, and AI, I've literally seen AI passed out in a booth and then drop fucking 40 the next night. Like, these dudes all got sloppy, but no one had the recovery of AI. All the rest of these fools were like just trash.
But see, but okay, so I think we can say that there was a lot of like talent, raw talent, just a lot of potential there, but it all has to be fucking harnessed and honed, bro. And friggin' that's where George Karl comes in. And to be totally honest, he was the guy going around, basically spreading fucking bad fucking rumors about these guys, and telling people that these guys are uncoachable or that they're this or they're that, and that shit goes around the league, and then eventually, you're getting you're just getting, you're getting your name and your fucking and your legacy played with at that point, bro. And Melo, he said like he did. I don't necessarily think he had any intention to leave the Nuggets, except for when George Karl started making that shit lame as fuck.
Yeah, but
So like he was like, fuck it, hell yeah, I want the fuck out of here. Send me to New York. Once he started realizing that Karl was fucking literally against him at a certain point.
Yeah.
When your head coach is against you, like it's hard, bro. It's like almost like the situation with Michael Jordan and the Bulls with that fucking with the general manager Krause or Caruso or whatever the name was. He wanted to break the Bulls up.
I get it.
You know what I mean? So it's just some weird shit, bro. Don't get me wrong. I was mad at Melo when he departed, and I had all these ill feelings about him because I just thought that he just was like, fuck that. I want to go play for a bigger market, and I want to fucking be, I want to be seen, and I want to win and shit like that. When niggas like the Knicks were not going to the playoffs at that time.
He's an East Coast cat, right? Like
Yeah.
he's from Beemore.
But once I started hearing these stories about George Karl, I had to start giving a little bit of grace. And I would suggest you go look into, players on George Karl.
Okay. I mean, I will. I mean, I've heard a little bit, but I haven't really gone down the rabbit hole. But even in public, Melo was a bitch. Like, I don't like that motherfucker, bro. Like, he just like I'm not no nut swinger. Like, I wasn't. Like, I never, I'm not big on that. Like, let's go out to the club and see a fucking celebrity and then, like, wait, bro, let me get a picture or something. Like, man, fuck that. Motherfucker's here trying to get some coochie just like I am, bro. But, like, I would just see other people go up to him and, like, he just fucking curved everybody, bro. Like, a whole ass dickhead, bro. And it's like, these fools are the ones buying your jerseys and, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like that shit out of athletes. You know what I mean? Be personable. Of course, I know it probably gets old for people to be fucking swinging on your nuts all day, but don't be a dickhead, bro, because they pay your salary. So go fuck yourself, Melo.
I feel you. Let's see here. Matua asked real quick. Ian Gary, Danny Ige, and Kevin Holland, the most game fighters currently. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, okay, yeah. I guess it's yeah, Kevin Holland, you fought a lot and you've stepped in and you've done some favors, but ain't nobody ever stepped in off of their couch, nigga. Literally called Dana White from his house, nigga, on his couch 4 hours prior to the fight and said, yo, bro,
I can be there.
I can do it. I'm here. And if you need me, like, that's legendary shit right there.
It is mad legendary.
And went 3 rounds with the nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get finished. Fucking went 3 rounds with one of the most dangerous niggas that went on to fight for a title after that.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't win, but still.
That was amazing in the fact that they had that kind of that it just got done. Like, the UFC is legendary for that. He's legendary for that. Like,
yeah.
One of the greatest stories. Like, that's like some shit you tell your grandkids. You know what I mean? Got off the couch, you whipped him. Like, lot of dude. You know what I mean? Not whipped him, but
fucking Ian Gary, he is annoying as fuck. But I will say that he doesn't shy away from nobody. That fool said, "Fucking, who y'all want me to go against?" And they said Shavkat. He's like, "Bring him on." And that nigga was perfect. Shavkat perfect. I think he still is at this point, and had 100% finish rate going into that fucking fight.
bro,
I think it was like 18-0 with like a fucking 100% finishing rate or something like that, bruh. And Gary didn't even fucking hesitate. It was like, please send him to me. And almost won the fight, but that fight was kind of underwhelming, but that's a whole nother story. But Matua, shouts out. That was a good insight from you. Darren said they were never going to beat that team while Kobe was around. Or they were never going to be that team while Kobe was around.
If, no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that, but bro, they could have. They really could have, bro.
They could have if they really like
Like,
locked in, and like I said, if the coaching was like actually in their favor, they could have locked in and fucking made some shit happen for sure.
that team was one of the most talented teams ever. Like, you got AI, you know what I mean, on the point, and you got Kenyon Martin, which Kenyon Martin, when he decided he wanted to play and he wasn't bullshitting on IR or hungover or whatever, like, he was a great defensive player. Mallow, when he decided to turn on, like, he could, you know what I mean, drop buckets from wherever he wanted. He just was, like, very inconsistent. And again, just not disciplined. Like, you take Mallow's raw talent and you throw Kobe's work ethic at it, you've got a superstar.
Oh,
You've got
fuck
an
yeah.
absolute crazy superstar.
For sure, for sure.
He just doesn't have that. So, yeah, I mean, they could have been great. You know what I mean? But fuck those dudes. Other than AI, that's my guy.
J.R. Smith's
Still-
cool too. J.R. Smith.
Man, fuck J.R. Smith, man. He was a whack ass nigga in public too, bro. He's just an idiot, bro. That's the same fool that like made shot on the wrong basket. What'd he do?
He did some LeBron fucking was like and blew a game in like the finals, I think, or something
bro.
wild like that. So I get it, but
And he was like, he was so nasty. Like, he was very, very Michael Porter Jr. Like, when he was on, like, that bro was dropping shots from wherever he wanted to.
yeah,
whenever
I
he
do a
wanted to.
no-look three.
Yeah. But if J.R. Smith was off, he was still going to shoot as much as he possibly could, but was just fucking trash at it. So, fuck J.R. Smith, too. Especially fuck Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin knows
shit.
why. And, yeah.
That's funny. Fucking Matua said that couch is crazy. So if you're referring to our couch, I get it. It's two niggas on a love seat. But hey, this is my brother. It's my brother, all right? So and this is the best one to fit. I should have gotten the bigger couch. I live here with my girlfriend, all right? Just fucking give some context here. I live here with my girlfriend, so like we should have got the bigger couch just for like comfort purposes so niggas could lay out and shit like that. But like when it really comes down to it, like primarily me and my girl are sitting on this couch cuddled up, all right? But this is just somewhere for me and my bro to sit for the time being. So I don't know if you're trying to fucking take a jab at the couch, Matua, you my guy. Or maybe you were trying to say something in reference to coochie or cuchie. But yeah, my bro would go out to the club and he'd run into the nuggets of that time. And, you know, everybody was out there just getting coochie. You know, like nobody was really trying to like fucking be seen in the section with niggas, you know, unless you're a fucking, you know, a stan. Or a fucking, you know,
not a stand,
groupie and shit like that.
Fuck that.
So, I respect that. Anyway, we got 305 chunks. This turned into Bros Talk NBA, but we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it. Fuck it. We're gonna roll with it. 305 chunks said LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, and Chris Bosh all a part of that 03 class. Yeah, legendary class.
Legendary class, for
That's
sure.
a legendary class right there.
And to imagine that all or three of those people played on the same team at one time is crazy.
Is some reason why I don't like LeBron. I fucked with LeBron and I respect him. But that moment when he decided to join the Miami Heat is what took him out of the GOAT convo with Jordan, with me.
For sure.
Because I ain't going to lie, I was hyped on LeBron James. I was kind of like, cool, we might get a second coming of Jordan right here, you know? And I would say, in certain respects, he has definitely carried the NBA in that type of way. He's definitely been the face in a sense, you know, and he transcended, you know, the game, you know, in terms of like what he does and shit like that. But As soon as he decided to do that super team shit, I couldn't fuck with him on a Jordan level no more. Now it's just Jordan and Kobe for me.
That's right.
But that class was fucking amazing. That's a fucking one of the most legendary draft classes probably since like the 80s, to be honest. Like Jordan and them coming out.
Wanted to sneakers some of the players that have been costing me my money. I would sleep Halliburton. Bro.
Bruh, nah, real shit. Like, hey, nah, for real, bruh. I fucking, the rage I feel against athletes who don't perform when fucking literally, like, I'll fuck around and, like, you know, Jokic fucking easy 12 rebounds. You know, nigga fucking had 6 consecutive games fucking rebounds, you know, over fucking 10 plus.
Yeah.
And then fucking tonight I decided to throw that fucking bet up or in the mix of a parlay. Nigga gets pulled out early because we're blowing the fucking team out or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Believe you me, bruh. Fucking that, yeah. You know, and it's funny because the athletes, their response is like, fuck you and your parlay. I don't give a fuck about you. But one person I really appreciated their comment was Kevin Durant. He was like, y'all niggas don't be breaking me off none of that parlay money. Fuck you. Maybe when one of you niggas start breaking me off some of that, some of your winnings, then maybe I'll try harder.
That's wild. That's funny
Fuck
as hell.
your parlay in the meantime.
Bro. Now, okay, so maybe I would have gone up to some athletes back in the day if there had been fucking sports betting, like fucking on your phone.
Bruh.
Oh, man, I've been calling motherfuckers out. Like, go fuck yourself completely, bro.
Real
Like,
shit.
oh, man. It's probably got to be tough to be an athlete nowadays with the sports betting shit. Like,
For sure, bruh. Them fools talk about it. Aljamain talks about it all the time. Like, man, fuck you guys and your fucking parlays. You know how many people get into my fucking comments talking shit to me after fucking... Even when I win, they talk shit to me when I beat the person that they went against me with. Fuck these fools. Let's see what else Darren said. He said, Melo played good when his feelings wasn't hurt and no one booed him. Yeah.
yeah, but
No, for sure.
that fool was always being a little bitch. That fool got the keys to the city, bro. He was allowed to do whatever the hell he wanted.
I think that was the problem. That's the problem when you get these high-profile players out of college who take on these fucking teams who are not only in small markets but like don't perform good because then it's like they're the Jordan of the team. So they're like, what are you gonna tell the Jordan of the team? Nigga, I'm the only shot you niggas have to do anything. So fuck you, you know? But then it creates this weird dynamic where it's like, well, bruh, we're still shitty with you though. Like, you know, so.
There's that.
But anyways, okay. So let's see here. Matua, not no jab at the couch. I like the couch. It's the tufted. The couch looks massive. Hey, okay, well, much appreciated.
This is a solid couch, bro.
Yeah, no, you know what? Yeah, this was one of the like nicer purchases I made once started like, you know, getting deep into my adulthood and shit. I was like, you know, I actually should probably get something more than a futon.
For sure. Everybody should have more than a futon.
You know what I mean? Well, fucking wooden plaques start fucking seeping through that fucking mattress, bruh. It's a wrap. And then let's see here. Oh, damn, for real? Matua just, breaking news. Kevin Lee just got his ass beat in the main event of PFL. Kevin Lee needs to hang that shit up and go focus in on his barbecue. Fool got him a nice little market sized, you know, like open market size, maybe like, I guess, like, I don't want to call it a truck necessarily, but it's kind of like a pop-up type joint that he has in like the local market where he lives at, doing barbecue. And niggas is like, this is the best barbecue I've ever tasted. So I'm like, you know, at least you got something outside of this. But bruh, Kevin Lee is one of the epitomes of like fucking squandered potential. Fool came out fucking looking like a fucking salve. even took a fucking setback and then came back and fucking put himself back on top again, and then just gradually is just, man, just nosedive. Like, his brother now is known more than him for being a food critic, and he fought too. And he got his ass beat, and he realized, okay, I've hit my ceiling. I'm gonna go fucking be a food critic. So I'm just gonna implore Kevin Lee,
Get the barbecue in,
nigga,
my boy.
yeah, get the barbecuing, and then have your brother come on to your restaurant and review your food,
Critique
my
your
nigga.
food.
Damn, I was watching some of Kevin Lee's like build up to this fight, and he looked dialed in, bro, and he was saying he was ready. But I knew like a nigga who squeaked past fucking Diego Sanchez in a fucking decision, I believe, in Eagle FC, fucking Khabib's fucking fighting organization.
Yeah.
I knew that the writing was on the wall then. But he looked good. And I thought, maybe he's got a little left in tank, at least to run the table on the lower level orgs. No,
bro.
damn. Shouts out Kevin Lee, man. All right, I think we made it through our comments so far, so we can get into the main event of the evening.
Solid.
We got a light heavyweight matchup. We got former light heavyweight champion Jamahal Hill going up against recent title challenger Khalil Rountree Jr. We got Jamahal Hill coming in. They are 6-3 with 1 no contest in the UFC, 12-3 with that 1 no contest overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Rountree Jr. coming in, 9-6 with 1 no contest in the UFC, 13-6 with that 1 no contest overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. My pick's gonna be with Jamahal Hill in this one by either decision or KO. Hill's gonna be slightly younger of the two, bigger in stature and reach, a striker primarily, and has the better strength of schedule when lined up against Rountree. And then in terms of like his striking, I feel like he'll be the more technical and crisper striker, mostly trying to just keep Rountree at distance, and just piece him up from the outside. Rountree is going to be slightly older by a year, the smaller of the two, a powerful striker who will always be looking to finish. He has very bad intentions when he steps into the cage. Like, he's very reserved and somewhat just kind of like unassuming in terms of like his demeanor. But I'm telling you, as soon as that cage door closed, he literally tries to hurt. Like, he tries to hurt people in a sense where almost like he's gonna hurt you. It's not about like following rules or oh well, I don't want to kill this man. I just want to fucking win the fight. No, he's the type where he's gonna fucking hurt you until someone tells him to stop hurting you, and then he's gonna look at you and he's gonna kind of feel bad at what he did to you.
Yeah.
So with all that, he's proven that he's durable. He's proven that he's a dog. He just needs to avoid taking damage, like he takes too much damage, and I know it's because he's willing to take one to give one. And in this fight, he is going to have to close the distance. So I don't know how he's necessarily going to go about avoiding that damage when his real route to victory is getting on the inside and fucking clipping fucking Jamahal Hill with something hard. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? This isn't going to be a grappling match, If it does go to the ground, it still favors Hill because he has shown that he has some skills on the ground. But all in all, I like Rountree's fighting style, but I just think I saw where his ceiling is in that Poatan fight. So I'm gonna have to go with Jamahal Hill in this one. Who do you got?
I'm going with Jamahal Hill as well. let's not forget what Khalil. That's what I was actually just looking at. Look, Khalil Roundtree's face looked like after he fought Poatan.
He still has remnants of it. His nose is still fucked
Split,
up. Like
yeah.
I feel like that's going to be the first thing to open. Like
Oh,
I
for
feel like this
sure.
is like literally all Hill has to do is touch him up a couple times on the nose, and that literally bridge of his nose is the first thing.
It's gonna split, dude. This
Yeah.
dude's face is forever changed. Um, and again, shouts out. He went with Poatan, and you know what I mean. And it was a hell of a fight. Um, but that, again, that was a hell of a fight. That was
And that's the
a
thing.
war. Well, losing war for Hill.
He had some shining moments in that fight. He wobbled Poatan a couple of times in that fight. But that was the thing, is like he didn't get him out of there, first off, and then second of all, freaking he had to eat shit to even get those in.
So, and that's what I'm saying. And I just don't. I think it's forever changed him. I just don't think he's the same fighter now that he was. Um, Give me just a second.
Yeah,
In addition to
I
that,
could see him trying to be more measured now instead of having reckless abandonment. Mm-hmm. But still at the same time, like, I think freaking he basically has to go for broke. I feel like almost like he has to get this done in the first round or bust.
okay. And so this is what I want to say. Who do you think they both fought? Poatan, right? Mm-hmm. Who do you think fought Poatan better? Both in losing fucking efforts, right?
I mean, Khalil Rountree, technically. He went 4 rounds with him
Technically, yes.
and wobbled him. Jamahal Hill never put freaking Poatan in a state of danger ever.
See, yes, he did. What a lot of people forget is Jamahal Hill is that the one where Poatan pushed off the ref, and then like Poatan took an extra step before they fucking like let him go again, and cracked Hill. Like Hill was winning that fight. Hill was whooping on him, and he got that extra step in on him because he was able to push off the ref, which I think was bullshit. And then he literally K'd him right after that. That fight stopped early because of that, not because, you know what I mean. Jamahal Hill was maintaining distance. You know what I mean. That he could have won that fight. I have no. If you really watch it over and over again, or a couple times,
No, I want to say I may have went for Hill in that fight. I think I went for Hill because I was like, he's a better like striker in the sense of like how he throws his strikes, you know. Yeah, like I think I went for him in that, and yeah, when I saw that fight, I thought it was bullshit how it went down. I felt like the ref created a distraction, and freaking now, granted, Jamahal Hill touched gloves, so at that point we're game. But yeah, he didn't realize that Poatan had found positioning and was gonna, act right then and there. And then they touched gloves, and he almost basically got hit like right after. And there was a lot of people who were like, no, that was totally fine. Everything was good. He should have just been on his guard. But me personally, I think that was lame.
The ref should have completely separated them.
The thing that makes it, I guess the thing that made me okay with it, though, is the way he performed against Yuri Prochazka. Like, he got fucking beat the fuck up by Yuri, and Yuri got fucking smoked by fucking Poatan twice. So it's like, kind of like, to me, it's almost like, well, maybe that's probably what would have happened in that fight then, because fucking, you turn around and you go against Yuri, and friggin' Yuri fucking smoked this fool. So, I don't know. But I get what you're saying, though.
I think Jamahal Hill was winning that fight. I think he won the first round. I think he was on his way to win the second round. Obviously, they didn't get all the way through. Again, there was that distraction created by the ref, which kind of changed the whole, tide of all of it. Khalil Rountree just got fucking punished for fucking 4 rounds.
That was only the first round.
Oh, first round? I thought
yeah,
that was...
Poatan put him out in the first round.
Okay. Well, then, I was off by a round. Whatever. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, he was doing better than Poatan in that first round.
Okay.
And it was just that stupid ref distraction that got him fucking flatlined. He's talked about it on Joe Rogan. He's talked about it, you know what I mean, on a couple other podcasts. Like, that was bullshit. They should have separated us. They didn't. I didn't realize he had taken an extra step in on me.
Yeah, and people just love Poetan so much that they gave him flack for it. But really, I know a lot of people, if it wasn't Alex Pereira, if it was a different fighter, they would have been like, that was fucked up. That was weird.
And again, I don't even think it's on Alex Pereira because you got to take every advantage you get. That was on the ref. That was bad reffing that night. But I say all that to say this: Jamahal Hill is going to fucking treat Khalil Rountree like fucking Khalil Rountree.
God damn.
Jamahal Hill, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think he's just a better all-around fighter. He's quicker than Rountree is. I think he lacks the power Rountree might have. But I think sometimes speed can beat power.
Yeah.
And Jamahal Hill definitely has the speed. And I think Jamahal Hill's ready to get back in there and get back into the win column.
I mean, he was the champion, and he vacated his title. He never lost his title. He vacated it because he hurt his shoulder, you know, or his knee. It's one of the two. I think Yuri fucking won it against Glover Teixeira, and then he vacated it because he hurt his shoulder. And then Glover Teixeira and fucking Jamahal Hill fought. Hill won that fight, and then hurt his shoulder in training after that and vacated, or hurt his knee or his leg. I think he hurt his knee in training and vacated the title. So I know for him, he kind of feels like, it's kind of like that. He's almost like the forgotten champion in that sense.
He really is.
And Yuri's fucking fought for the title 2 times since fucking he vacated the title. So, you know.
So, really, I have a lot of, like, I think Jamahal Hill's, even though he's coming off back-to-back knockouts, which generally I would always be like, nah, fuck that. Like, you gotta, you know what I mean? I'm not bet on this dude until you win one, bro. But I think he has the heart and the skill to, like, make it happen. And those are 2 very high-level competitors. Khalil Rountree has taken an 8-month hiatus, which his face definitely needed it.
Tore his Achilles is what Cash Cole's saying.
Oh, really?
Much love, Cash Cole. Appreciate
Hell yeah.
that. Appreciate the clarification.
But tore his face though too, bro. Like that, there's some pictures online that are fucking
No, he
crazy.
fucked fucking Khalil Rountree's face up.
Yeah.
For sure.
But anyway, yeah. So there's a little bit of ring rust there. Jamahal Hill's a great fighter. He's super quick. I can't say durable because, well, he has been flatlined 2 times. But I think he'll get it done against Khalil. Speed beats power. And that's kind of where I'm at on that.
For sure.
And I think this will be mainly a striking affair.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And we're just going to see them both pug it out.
Let's see. Let's get into the chat real fast. MMA Mystic, my man. Yo, we gotta like collab one time, bro, or do something like that, you know, and have you come on here or we come on your platform or something like that, and we chop it up about fights too. But he said Hill's gonna shock the haters. I feel the same way.
Completely.
I feel the same way. Cash Cole, if Hill can avoid Rountree's early power and stay technical, he likely wins. That's literally what I envision, and what is the reasoning behind why I'm picking Hill too. If Rountree lands clean early, it could be. You're calling it exactly how I see it, bruh. Rountree has to get inside and he has to land something nasty, and then like fucking basically rock fucking Hill to the point where he doesn't know where he's at, and then just start fucking teeing off on him until the ref stops. Jamahal Hill, I could see him winning a decision. I could see him knocking Hill out, and I could see him wobbling him and then TKOing him.
Yeah, and again, as we said earlier, Hill's gonna split that nose on Rountree so instantaneously.
And also take note in their last 5 fights. Like really look at the level of competition Hill's facing against what Khalil Rountree's facing. Like, you know, Khalil just you face like some pretty top tier competition with Poatan. Otherwise, you can't really. I can't really give you props for fucking beating up fucking who is this Chris Doc? Who was this for? Who were some of these fools he fucked up? Carl Roberson and
Trash.
who ain't even in the UFC no more. Dustin Jacoby.
Old.
By split decision. Chris Dawkins. It was one of the Dawkins boys. I was going to say, because I know Curtis Blades fucked up a Dawkins boy, and it was like, yeah, but I don't put no stock in that.
Yeah.
And same thing here. Like, those dudes were cool for like this long, and then they fucking started getting cleared. And then Anthony Smith, prior to his fight against Poatan, I'm sorry, like, you got fucking Hill, who lost to Yuri. It's Yuri. Lost to Poatan, and then beat Teixeira for the title, beat Thiago Santos when he was somewhat still Thiago Santos, and then fucking gave Johnny Walker the beats
by Dre.
which I'm sure was like I watched that one. He made Walker fucking do like the weird like delayed fucking fall, and then he fell fucking all crazy, and then he came in and gave him one more, and that was kind of like either part of the beginning or in the midst of like Walker's downfall. But
I think it was in the beginning for sure.
But literally, those 5 names against Poatan, Anthony Smith, Chris Dawkins, Justin Jacoby, and Carl Roberson, it's not even fucking the same. So yeah, I can't.
And he's taller. He's longer. Like
Yeah.
he's a little bit younger, not crazy younger, but younger. I just don't really see it going in Hill's favor.
Me neither. But I like the way you called that, Cash Cole. That's pretty much the way that I see it on both sides. Cash Cole with another comment. Jamal has a snooze button on his chin. Yeah, at this point, like you keep getting fucking put on your pockets, bro. It's only so long before that's all you end up doing. Then pretty soon you can't, nigga, fucking flick your fucking chin and you're fucking going lights out. So. Matua, I had to choose Jamahal Hill versus Pereira, but that extra step is not a stretch. See? Yeah. Yep. But he still got caught. Killer Khalil, round 3 TKO, all violence. Okay, I see you, Matua. I mean, now, Rountree, proved his durability, proved that, he can be a 5-round fighter. That was actually his first main event, I believe, and his first 5-round fight. So, like, he definitely has what it takes, but I just think he has to get it done, I think, even earlier than round 3. Yeah, I chose Jamahal Hill against Pereira. Thought he was just going to be able to throw more volume, and Pereira's defense has never been too great, So, like, I thought he was going to, clip him up. But then that whole, situation happened with Herb Dean and all that bullshit. So at least you're not a hater, and you could see where that situation was a little funky, because Hill took a lot of flack when he mentioned, like, yo, that was kind of fucked up. A lot of people were like, shut the fuck up, loser.
Oh, man.
Once again, shout out Cash Cole for clarifying that Hill tore his Achilles. 305 Chunks, thank you for streaming, my bros. Who's winning the Canelo and Crawford fight? Bruh, they just had the press conference for that today, I think. I think Crawford's going to fuck him up, dog.
Oh, fucking that's a hard one,
I think
bro.
Crawford's going to get him, bro, because I think what it is it's just a time factor. I think Canelo's on the latter end, and I think that Crawford's, on the rise. And I just feel like these dudes have been on a crash course. Now, don't get me wrong. When it's a high-profile fight / production, you got fucking Turkey Al-Sheikh involved. You got fucking Dana White even involved in this fight. So there's going to be huge numbers. And then that's where it just, like, for me, like, that's always been the thing with me in boxing is just, like, how much of this is a production and how much of this is an actual fight that's about to take place. You know what I mean? Because in that case, if we're talking about production-wise, Canelo's the A side. But if we're just talking about just pure fucking fighter versus fighter,
Boxing prowess.
yeah, then I want to believe that Crawford's probably going to be, just at this stage in his career, the better fighter than Canelo. You know, the fight that kind of fucked things up for me, like, boxing's always been weird for me, but the one most recently where I was just, at the end of the day, I was like, oh, okay, this was all a work, was Mayweather and McGregor. At the end of the fight, when those two fucking hugged and said, we did it, I was like, bruh.
That was mad.
What the fuck? So you let this nigga stick around. Yeah. Mayweather, you let him stick around for 10 rounds and then decide, all right, let's get this over with. Like, that's how it felt by the end once they did that shit.
Well, if you remember the Logan, was it Logan Paul?
Logan and fucking Mike Tyson, yeah.
No. That was Mike Tyson.
Jake and Mike Tyson, yeah.
Logan and Mayweather.
Yeah.
Where Mayweather, he had blocked Logan, and he actually held him up.
Yeah.
Like, and let him recover, and then fucking kept popping him with something. Like, fuck boxing, bro. Like, I like boxing. Like, don't get me wrong. I love boxing. I actually was a hard convert from boxing over to MMA because I didn't understand MMA completely. But now boxing is it's just dirty. It's muddy. It's fucking. It's gross. It's not pure. I'm not saying that UFC is completely pure because when we get into these other countries, I've seen some fucking wild shit go on where this guy won and he's not supposed to win. So, but I think it's far purer than boxing is.
And Dana White's voiced a lot of criticism on boxing and said that, like, I want to get into boxing to fix boxing.
Yeah, to purify boxing again. Yeah. But yeah, fuck boxing.
Let's see here. Jamal's fight with Alex barely lasted 2 minutes. Hill landed leg kicks on Pereira and was pressuring a little bit, and was outstriking Alex up till he got caught. So Matua agrees with you that fucking Hill was winning that fight prior to the fucking the debacle.
Absolutely.
Matua also goes on to say, I can't select Jamahal Hill because of his tattoo choices alone. Bruh, what the fuck are these, dog? This nigga got 2 thumbs up tattooed on his fucking chest, bro.
Really?
Yeah,
I guess I've never really noticed. Because he's kind of a darker dude, you know what I mean? So I don't really...
Dog, like, it is right there, like, the beginnings of it. Literally, bro. 2, and not even, like, defined looking hands, bro. Like good, like
emojis?
Like jail tattoo hands, nigga. Doing thumbs up on both sides, dog.
That's
just on his
wild.
chest like this.
I guess I've never really noticed, bro. Like,
dog, fucking. I was looking at it today on a graphic, and I was like, "What the fuck, my?" No, it was during the weigh-ins, and like he's doing like this with his arms and shit. I'm just looking at it. I'm just like, nigga, who told you that was cool?
Yeah.
Why? Like, where was the homie at who should have clowned you for that shit, for even thinking of it? Let alone after you got it done. Saw you and was like, nigga, what?
The tattoo artist should have been like, bro, like, this is pretty dumb.
Yeah, even the artist. Shouts out Matua. That's some real shit. One more from Matua. Jamahal Hill's excuse for his loss after Pereira was kind of whack. I mean, yeah, like, I get both sides of it because there's a part where I'm like, hey, you touched gloves. So literally from the moment you touch gloves, that's supposed to mean that you guys are back at it. But at the same time, I seen where the opportunity presented itself and fucking Pereira took full advantage of it. Like, that's kind of how I feel. We got someone else new to the chat, Twan Lorenzo. Much love. Welcome to the chat. They say, who will win the dirty boxing or grappling in this fight? This is the X factor. So are we talking about the main event with Rountree and Hill? If so, I would say that the dirty boxing would go to Rountree, but the grappling definitely will lean towards Hill. Okay, so yeah, that is the fight you're talking about. Then yeah, that's my opinion on it. Is like, yeah, definitely, if this fight goes to the ground, that changes everything. And just puts it more in favor of Hill to me, personally. He's going to be longer. He's going to be able to wrap things up and shit like that. Probably not be taken down. I'm sure he has some good grappling defense or at least a decent sprawl. Roundtree, I've never really seen him grapple ever. And it doesn't look like he has, he doesn't even have a submission to his name. Neither does Hill, but I've actually seen Hill grapple. Now, don't get me wrong. There was that one time he followed Paul Craig to the ground and then fucking Craig got him and broke his arm. But because the ref didn't fucking break him up like soon enough, so Hill ended up with a broken arm after it was all said and done. But if you ask me, Roundtree has the edge in the dirty boxing because he has to get inside. That's his only route to victory, in my opinion, is he has to get inside and land something nasty on fucking Hill. Hill, on the other hand, is definitely going to have the grappling edge. So yeah, that would be my opinion on that. What do you think?
Hill's gonna whip his ass and he's really just gonna snipe him from the outside. I don't see a lot of phone booth exchanges unless Hill's able to really, really push that thought. But I just see fucking Hill sniping him from the outside, possibly getting him rocked at one point. And you know what I mean? Again, there's just so many ways for him to win. I think he can win in the grappling. I think he can win in the striking as long as he doesn't get in the phone booth with with Roundtree. With Roundtree. He could just fucking split his fucking face open, and the doctor could stop it. That's a very big possibility as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's just sniping from the outside. He's 4 inches taller. He's got, 2.5 inches of reach or something along those lines. Snipes and busts that fucking nose open, gets him bleeding. Doctor stops it, and fucking call it a day. Get paid.
For sure. Cash Cole said Jamahal is not in good shape. Bruh, Jamahal is never in good shape. I think he's one of those folks with the genes that just don't allow, or the body type that doesn't have abs. The nigga looks like he looks like fucking, your big brother who comes out of the crib with the wife beater on and shit, and stomach's kind of fucking over the belt line a little bit, but the nigga throws hands. Literally, Hill has never looked in shape, to be totally honest.
No, soft. Hill's got a similar body to an Anderson Silva, right? Anderson Silva never really looked like.
Yeah, but Anderson Silva's still lean a little bit. He was still lean looking. He didn't have abs or freaking, muscles protruding or anything like that. But at the same time, Hill literally, I'm telling you, bro, Hill looks like he's gonna go to the block party after the fight. I'm serious.
He's gonna jump out of the cage and drink a 40.
I'm serious, bro. That's what he does. He looks.
That's wild.
He doesn't look in shape. That's true. Let's see here. Cash Cole said, and I think Khalil has too much muscle and is probably gonna gas out. Yeah,
I agree.
Real shit. That's. I think that's his problem. Why he couldn't sustain in the Pereira fight, because like I said, he had that full on skates early on, but then as the fight wore on, he started to slow down, and then fucking Pereira just started to take over from there.
Yeah, and I think Hill's gonna just confuse him. He's gonna frustrate him. Because again, he's gonna snipe him, and this dude's gonna be just running forward like a juggernaut, and Hill just keep sniping him. And frustration's gonna set in, and the amount of movement that's gonna have to happen is going to set in.
Yeah, Hill can't get complacent though. He has to fight fucking calculated. He can't, like you said, he can't be getting into the phone booth with this fool.
Absolutely not. Juggernaut versus Sniper.
Over Sniper.
Juggernaut over Sniper.
Matu is going with Roundtree though. He's already said that.
Yeah, whatever, bro. Fuck the Juggernaut, bro. Snipers all day.
Well, all right. We got through the comments and the main event and all that. Let's see. I'm rocking with Killer Khalil. I feel you, hey, if he wins, I'm not going to be mad about it, except for outside of not getting my picks right and, shit like that. But at the end of the day, because I like Roundtree. Like, this is one of those fights where I like both fighters. So the only thing that really sucks is, like, one of these fools has to lose. 305 Chunks. What do you think of Wayne walking out Dustin? Is that what's going to happen? Is fucking Dustin Poirier going to have Lil Wayne fucking walk him out in this fight against Max Holloway? That's going to be hard as hell because Dustin Poirier is fighting in UFC 317, I believe, against Max Holloway. No. Yes. And it's in New Orleans, his hometown. And so this is going to be his last fight.
So Lil Wayne's gonna
potentially his last fight. If you got confirmation on that 305 Chunks, that will be not only ill with it, but I want to say that'll be a first. I don't think UFC fighters have had niggas rapping with them coming out to the cage before. I know that's some shit they do in boxing, but I don't think they've done that yet.
I don't think they have.
Well,
at one point, Dana White did say
318. Okay, I thought I was wrong.
Yeah.
I thought I was wrong. UFC 318.
I think Dana White at one point had said, like, we're not doing that stupid shit. We're fucking classy organization, blah, 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 blah. But I think he's starting to come around more to the, like, this is entertainment as much as it's sport.
Yeah, you got Izzy, doing dance shit. Michelle Pereira most recently had, like, a little dance routine. Fucking Izzy and fucking Michael Venom Page both did a Undertaker homage and fucking came out to his music and had urns and shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, you've got there's a couple chicks that do some twerking action going on. Anyway, I'm gonna get to my guys, you know what I mean, Cash Cole, asking what's a good 3-leg parlay.
Oh, well, hey,
okay.
Funny you ask, Cash Cole. Usually when we finish the breaking down the main event, we go right into parlays, but the chat's been active and, we want to make sure that we're getting to all y'all's comments and questions. Shouts out to you too for that correction, UFC 318, Poirier versus Holloway. But give us your parlays, bro.
3-pick parlay. This is, I just don't see how this one goes bad. Ulan Bekov as my 1.
Okay.
Elliott as my 2, Sadikov as my 3. If you want to make it, I'm not even going to say it's spicy necessarily. The 4-pick, if you want to add an extra one to it, I throw Melissa Mullins in there. And please, chat, tell me how you think that one's going to lose.
Okay. I'm going to start with a base parlay of Ulan Bekov, Oban Elliott, and Sadikov.
That's my exact same one.
Okay. Awesome. I guess I wasn't paying attention about that. Then if you want to spice it up, you can go with a spicy Melissa Mullins.
That's the same one I just did too.
Okay. If you want to extra spice it up, you can go with a spicy Muhammad Naimov. And then if you want to shit your pants on the evening, ladies and gentlemen, then I would suggest an extra, a shit your pants with...
Don't trust the chicks, bruh.
Fuck, bro. I want to say Nardiev, but I don't think he might be the underdog. He might have gotten underdog on that one. So yeah, let's just go with so first 3, Ulan Bekov, Ulan Bekov, Oban Elliott, Sadikov, spicy
Mullins,
extra spicy Naimov, and then if you want to shit your pants on the night, so wait, what is that? It's Ulan Bekov, fucking
Elliott, Sadikov,
so 3, and then
Mullins 4,
Naimov 5. So yeah, if you want to shit your pants with the ultimate 6-pick parlay, then you can throw fucking who did I say? Oh, Nardiev in there. My bad, y'all. I fucking kind of fucking freestyled the fucking parlays. I didn't fucking have time to put them together like bro did. Don't trust the chicks.
Bro, I get it.
No, you're right, bro. You're right. That's why she's on the like spicy pick side of things.
That's
like,
why she's my 4 and not my, you know what I mean?
if you want just a guaranteed 3, like Cash Cole was asking for, then you go with what my brother said: Ulanbekov, Elliott, and Sadikov.
Boom.
For sure. That
You know what I mean?
that's solid.
There's not a bunch of money be made in that, but it's guaranteed. You know what I mean? I think you're gonna be at like plus 115 or something like that for that 3 picker. Because
And then main card picks, like for a parlay, or just what were our main card picks? Because if that's the case, then we got I got Naimov, Sadikov, Oralbai, Kuniev, Bahamundez, and Hill. And then Bro, I believe, has Naimov, Sadikov, Oralbai, Blades, Bahamundez, and Hill. And then underdogs, let's see here. I'm always good for the underdog. I just got to feel like a lot of these. I know that there was a couple on here, but I'm trying to see who was it.
I only have about 2, I think, in my my pick.
Yeah, Nardiev. That's what I'm saying. Nardiev's probably going to be my underdog pick, which he's also my extra spicy pick as well. Oh no, my shit your pants pick. So yeah, fucking I'd probably say Nardiev or Kuniev for me, because Kuniev's going to be the underdog in this bout. So yeah, I would say either Nardiev or Kuniev. Can't go wrong if the name ends with an EV. Maybe that's who I go for. You say that you only go for dudes who have what's in their name?
And a Dove,
Magomedov or
Dove, yeah.
ends with a Z, or no, their country of origin ends with a Z or something like that. Or stand.
Ends in the stand, yeah. Their
Ends in
country
the
of origin ends in the stand.
Let's see here. It's a pick'em for Hill and Khalil. Yeah, it's straight up. Which I don't know. Like, I guess given the fact that Hill's on a 2-fight losing streak, and fucking Roundtree had, such a good performance against Pereira in a sense, I can see how those kind of even out. But me personally, I think Hill's the underdog in this one.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think I picked any dogs unless I picked them early before they became dogs or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think, I don't know if you picked any underdogs, bro.
No, I did. Well, not on here. Let me see. Let me check my bets.
Yeah, because you picked Park, so that would have been everybody else's a favorite, my G.
That is crazy.
Well, you were better than me on the UFC prediction tracker at picking favorites, though.
Yeah, I'm
Which since I named it, make sure that you go check out the UFC predictions tracker. Basically, if you like, if you follow or tail picks or predictions from YouTube channels, then I highly suggest checking out UFC prediction tracker on YouTube. They take everybody in this space, myself, Bro, fucking, let's say, like Angelo from We Want Picks, Jacob, fucking, MMA Guru.
We need Mystic to get in there.
No, Mystic's in there.
Is he?
Yeah,
All right.
Mystic's in there. It takes everybody in the picks prediction space on YouTube. It's like 100 and some channels he's following and continuing to add to that total. He takes all those channels, puts them up against each other to tell you guys who's the best at picking, who's the worst at picking, who makes the most ROI, who makes the least ROI, who is the best at picking favorites, who's the best at picking underdogs, and also who is stringing together consecutive winning weeks in terms of ROI, which Bro right now is on a 2-week winning streak. Good
and that's
shit.
basically, and I'm on a bigger winning streak than that, but that winning streak is basically ROI, like return
It's
on
only
investment.
on ROI.
It's not on like
Just winning the card
Winning
out
the card,
on
yeah. It's
picks.
like, did you make money that week? Yes, I made money the last 2 weeks. I plan on making that a 3rd week.
Yeah, but there's some guys on there who are proven, and we're climbing our way up the ranks to be right up there alongside them. It's just he hasn't tracked enough fights from us yet. But I highly suggest if you're somebody who puts stock into YouTube predictions and picks in terms of UFC fights, go check out the UFC predictions tracker for sure. Let's see here. Twan said Hill's chin is sketchy. You are very correct about this. That's why I think he just needs to fight a smart fight from the outside and maybe even a point fight. 305 Chunk says that Hill is the slight underdog. I could see that on probably some other betting platforms. DraftKings has these fools straight up, but I could see that being the case on some other platforms. I think Khalil could beat Alex. Just saying, my hot take. I mean, I think he could too. He put him on skates a couple times in that fight. I just think that he gassed out, and it was his first main event, first 5-round fight. So I think that it was just a lack of experience. But he definitely fucking made that fight interesting early on, for sure.
Yeah. No, he can't beat fucking Alex. There's no way. Sorry, my boy. You know what I mean? And maybe I'm just riding the fucking the Peloton fucking train and shit because I like the cat, but he fucking beat the shit out of fucking Rountree. Like really,
he did. I mean, it started getting bad.
Beat the crap out of him.
Once he took over, he took all the way over, and it started looking a little even like gruesome to a point. And luckily it got finished because he could have potentially went all 5, and who knows what the fuck would have been hanging off his face by that time.
Fucking elephant man, bro. He'd look like fucking, hey you guys.
Real quick, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, share this channel, this episode. We appreciate all of our viewers. We appreciate all of our subscribers, all of our new subscribers since last episode. We're at 207, and truly I can't thank you 207 people enough for just, showing us some support, and just like keeping us locked in on this, because I truly think we got something special here. All picks and predictions channels are dope, and they all, some of them are more, technical and like more like stats driven. And then there's, guys like us who just, we want to make this more of like a barbershop conversation and just, bullshit and talk to shit, like that's kind of like my inspiration, like we want picks guys. Like I like the way Angelo and Jacob do their thing, so shouts out to them and shit, but those guys are on a bad one in terms of picks. They've been looking pretty bad. So, we're trying to stake our claim within this community. So we can't thank you guys enough for, following us on this journey. Real quick, 305 Chunk said, look forward to your streams. Great analysis and vibes, my bro. Much love, 305
Shouts
Chunks.
out, bro.
Appreciate you. That's literally what we aim for. We just want people to fucking, enjoy themselves when talking about this shit. So yeah, like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Much love to everybody who has and will. If you're just now viewing, shouts out to you.
Shouts out Matua.
Shouts out Matua. Shouts out 305 Chunks, returning viewers. Cash Cole and Twan Lorenzo, newer viewers to the channel, or at least to the chat. And then shouts out to our longtime homie Darren, and his son Gabriel. We went and watched the fights with them last week, and that shit was a blast. And the little homie Gabriel, man, this kid was like, he's like Rain Man.
He's like a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah,
bro.
he was just ringing off facts and old events and fights and all kinds of shit. So shouts out to them. Make sure that you follow us at Bros Talk MMA on Instagram, on IG. On Instagram and TikTok at Bros Talk MMA. You can follow me on both those platforms as well at UTICA, UTICA _SME. You can follow my bro But he's going to give you the breakdown on where you can follow him at.
You can follow me at r1.mason on IG only if you have a corn hub or an OnlyPants.
It's wild because we have 0% female fucking viewership on this show. So I don't know how.
No, we don't have 0%.
I don't know if it's been like a rough go for you, bros. I don't know if anybody's actually contacted you yet, but I hope I hope it's of the lady variety.
Hey, we've got at least one female viewer that I know of.
Okay,
at least one.
Oh shit. Well, damn, man. I mean, is there anything else you'd like to talk about, or?
Nah, I just need to take a shit, bro.
Okay. Well then, with that being said, much love to everybody. Really appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be back next week to break down that fight card, which I believe is... What's the next fight card that they got coming up? We got... Oh, UFC 317, the one that so that's the UFC 317 that's coming up. We got Topuria versus Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight title. That's going to be fucking crazy.
But we don't have fight night, the next fight night, or did you want to?
No, we got, look at this is this here.
Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah, so fucking, that's going to be crazy. Looking forward to breaking that one down with y'all. I don't have any early predictions for that. I still got to chop that one up a little bit, man.
That one's a toughie, bro.
That's a tough one, bro. That is fucking tough. You got the grappling, the well-roundedness and staying power of Charles Oliveira, and then you got the well-roundedness, striking fucking prowess, knockout power. And grappling capability of Ilia Topuria. So like for real, like my heart says Oliveira, but then my mind says Topuria. But then it's like Topuria could knock Charles out, or he could like put him on his pockets, but then fucking Charles fucking, baits him in and then fucking puts him away. So
bro, this might be the greatest card of this year. Oh, it's not. I mean,
bro, prelims, I'd say these first like 4 to 5 fights ain't all that great, but then the shit starts to heat up afterwards.
They're not necessarily like the biggest names, but they're solid fights.
Yeah, solid matchups for sure.
Solid matchups, and then the main card is all big names.
Yeah, the main card.
There's no one on that main card I don't want to see.
I don't know how Peyton Talbot made it onto the main card.
I don't know how he did either, and I hope fucking Felipe Lima beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, that's wild.
But
yeah, folks. So until then, we'll see you next week. But for this, tomorrow, once again, reminder, these fights start at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So make sure you get your coffee and your motherfucking breakfast and all that shit ready, because it's going to be early morning fights, which frees you up for the rest of the day. So hopefully you have plans for the rest of your Saturday.
Yeah.
So with all that, happy betting. We wish y'all nothing but the best this weekend. And until the next time,
we out.
We out.
Time to take a shit, bro.